You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
AGT with James Redmond outside. Talk to me, bro. I'm not happy.
I can imagine a lot of people aren't happy. The first thing I want to say is it's so good to be back here.
Great to be back.
Very good to be back here. That's always the positive. And I thought the man of the match was us. I won't lie to you. I thought we really put them under pressure. I think Patrick Vieira was probably intending to wind us up, which worked. And obviously the performance was the performance. I'm not really happy either. That's 2 draws out of games that we definitely should have won. So I don't think you're going to be getting many positive fan reactions today.
Yeah, I mean, talk to me about Darwin Núñez. I've seen. Do you want me to show you the video now? Because I don't think you've seen it. I think it's important to see these things, though.
What I'm confused about is why is he being given a yellow and then a red? And then I've been told from a gentleman over here that it was a red. It weren't checked for VAR. How are you not checking a red card on VAR?
This is it, James's live.
My eyesight, shit, mate. Got an eyesight of an 80-year-old granny. Oh, fuck off. He fucking hit him first. There was only a little tap on the nose. Behave yourself.
Yeah, but you can't do that, Jay. He's got in his head there.
Listen, you're fully right. In today's game and age, you can't do it. But the kid fucking done something first, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not being funny or not, and he fully caught him on the back of the head. Núñez then gave him a little kiss on the cheek. Like, yeah, it is what it is. It's a red, you know what I mean? And then
3 games, Jay.
What?
3-game ban now. No United, no Derby.
It is what it is, bro. It is what it is, you know what I mean? It's what happens when a player who's so young and probably hasn't got his head screwed on fully yet. That's going to happen, you know what I mean? Núñez should, even after it, the way he was still trying to go forward, it's just like, come on, lad, chill it, you know what I mean?
Milner was like dragging him off the pitch.
It's done, just swerve it. That's not the way that we are. That's not the way Jurgen Klopp promotes his players. But even besides Núñez, who I didn't think had a great game, and I've been saying it, like, I don't think he's having many good games outside of his goal scoring, which I know he's there to score goals, but we need to see more because we're going to keep on seeing that midfield being overrun, and then because we're trying to rely the system, I don't know if everyone else agrees about this, but the system seems to be very relied now on Núñez in terms of getting the balls over the top. It's very one-dimensional, it's very direct. It's not going to be sustainable over time, and the reason being why it won't be sustainable is due to the fact that that's a very basic way of playing football. It's not the way that you play football at the top ends of the game. Crystal Palace are a team that you should be getting 3 points against. Crystal Palace are not a team that should... The time that they were beating us was when we were a little bit on the rise as well. That was the time that we were struggling against them. Now, you've got to be taking points in these games. Yet to mention, we haven't played anyone in the top 6 and we've already dropped 4 points. Do we remember that when you're in a title race against City, Chelsea, you can't afford to drop any points? It doesn't make no sense. So I'm not trying to say it's panic stations, and I don't think anyone should be saying we're out the title race, but that doesn't really fill you with too much confidence today, and that's me. So, to be honest, it is what it is. We keep moving. The referee weren't too great either.
Referee was awful. Awful.
It doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter. The players weren't good enough. How many times was each midfielder getting overrun? Nat Phillips, he done exactly what I thought, but I don't know why Joe Gomez weren't starting, because when Joe Gomez came on, he was brilliant. And you know what's dead weird? Everyone's going to talk about the red card, and everyone's going to be like, the draw was sound because we got a red card. We were better when we went down to 10 men. Before that, we were wank. So I'm not being funny. Gomez came on, we looked a bit better. What else? Fabio Carvalho came on, I thought he...
Diaz's goal was good.
Diaz's goal was very good, but again, what's Diaz doing all the time by trying to do things that he doesn't need to do? Unnecessary overhead kicks and stuff like that. Do that when you're 3-0 up. Don't do that when you're fucking 1-0 down against Crystal Palace. And that's the only criticism I've got on Luis Diaz. We can't be overrating him because he can do a few step-overs and stuff. Good player, but he needs to work on that end product as well. Otherwise, do you know them Mane goals that we were getting last season? We're going to really miss that. And Salah as well. I think he's been looking at a more creative approach to get Núñez more of those goals. I think we're just relying on him too soon, you know what I mean? That front three, it looks a little bit all over the gaff at the moment, and it's going to need time, but if it's going to need time, you're probably not going to be getting points on the ball, which means you're probably not going to be winning that league title at the end of the season, because you need to be getting points from now, just like the way City are.
Yeah, listen, Núñez out for 3 games now. He's not going to play against United, Everton. Who do we play up front next week at Old Trafford? Because if we'd have won tonight, we would have all been rubbing our hands going, right, it's going to be 4 or 5-0 next week. Now without a striker, I don't know.
I don't know how it's going to go. Firmino will play. Man United aren't the greatest football team, but we haven't been playing like the greatest football team either. I feel like one thing that most people who come on the fan cams won't mention is Van Dijk's performance today. Best believe if he performs like the way he did against Fulham, and then today, Even
Who's at fault for the goal?
Sancho and stuff for their only goal. Nat Phillips and Trent, I thought they both had a bit to play. Trent needs to get on his toes more, and Nat Phillips, it just was what it was. He's not match fitter. He made one mistake out of about 20 possible mistakes he could have made. He was sound on the ball. He was making all the safe and right passes, and he done the basics well. So if I'm the manager of the Liverpool Football Club, which I'm defo not, Nat Phillips was sound for me. Sound. Trent was below par. Yet again, Van Dijk was nowhere near the standards. He's there telling everyone to get back up and hype it up. He's not doing it himself. Get alert, get back on, get the match fitness up, but don't be making silly mistakes and silly errors against Crystal Palace, because soon you will have the top 6 and they'll punish you even more, and you won't be getting away with a point or anything like that. So don't want to hear nothing about the referee and the 10 men and stuff like that. We went better when we got to 10 men. Choose better selections as well, Jürgen. You know what I mean? Why are you starting that over Joe Gomez, the person who you've just signed on a new contract?
Apparently he might have got a knock beforehand, and that's why he didn't start.
Do you know what? Maybe you're right. But I saw Joe Gomez come on and have a great game. So from my perspective, I thought that should have happened. Yeah.
Well, there you go. James's thoughts on the game. Obviously, it feels like a loss. We're all dejected right now.
Yeah. Well, going into the United game, you don't want that. You don't want to go into it, a Manchester United game, when they've lost 2 games on the bounce. We should be going into that saying 4-0, 5-0. Now we could leave that with a draw. So, like I said, we'll hope for the best, you know what I mean? Because if we keep performing like that, we're not going to get anywhere.
In terms of, I know it's super early still, we're only 2 games in, but is the league still there? Like, can we still win it?
You know what I'm like? I said it last season, do you know, when we went on our little funny patch between like December and that? You can't just drop points and think you're custy. You can't. It doesn't work that way. You've got to make sure that you're getting these points against the Fulhams, against the Crystal Palaces, because I think last year, if you're playing them too, I think we still edge 3 points, even if we don't play too well. We're looking very rusty at the beginning of the season, so don't write us off. But I even said about Chelsea fans last year celebrating a draw against us. It's like, well, you clearly aren't ready for this title race if you're celebrating draws. Draws are losses in today's age, and we need to realise that, especially these players, mate. So I'm not going to say it's over, but it's looking bleak.
Jay, thank you very much, brother. I'll see you tomorrow, yeah? Nice one, bro.
Adios.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stands, for a lot more Liverpool content.
Remember to check out our Shopify store for this beauty and much more. It's the new Luchito's Way Diaz t-shirt based on Luis Diaz and Carlito's Way. It's out now, designed by Ruby.
And there's going to be so many more.
There is. Make sure you're involved. Go and buy this now and use the Kop TV 15 for a little discount if you want.